we're going to step up onto the block. My foot is on top, and I'm going to bring the knee up and in. We've been working on this, and then step back down. I am purposefully using the top of the chair. Okay? I'm going to step up and in, and then feel the willingness of this leg to go a little further. And that means the willingness of the standing knee to accommodate that. So I want us to notice leaning in. If I were to draw the knee up and in and aim for height, more quadricep work, but if I were to lean in, I can get much further back behind. Perfect. Now we can use the weight as an option, one weight. So I'm going to hold it in the outside hand. I'm going to still hold on to the back of the chair. And the getting there is simple. I want to swing the arm forward and bring the knee up and then resist. Hey, the weight adds a little bit. I can take the leg out to the side and back even slightly toward the midline, aiming across. We'll do that 3 times. Perfect. Taking the weight ahead, leaning in, the weight adds an ease of stepping further back. How about that? That's all we want from that side. What I'm going to encourage that you do is simply turn around. And as you turn around, you'll have the chair on the other side. Yeah? And the block is in place, nice and low. We won't use the weight right off the bat. We'll step up and explore freedom of movement and lifting the knee and stepping back. Okay? You don't necessarily have to have a chair. You could be standing near the wall, but here we are bringing the knee in and then leaning in so the weight of the head helps us manage this greater end point. Now we know. Let's use the weight if that's what you did on the other side. Remember that it is an option, right? I'm going to send the arm forward, come lifting the knee, resting the weight at the knee. It adds a little extra load. You can decide to push down. And then we'll take the leg out to the side. Everything is really still in the body, minus the movement of the leg and the arm that are guiding. And so the steadiness of the standing leg and the core engagement, we get to build that too. Send the arm ahead, take the leg behind, lean in, let the leverage help you, and wonderful, and step down. Perfect. From here, we'll turn back around to that first side. And we'll put the weight down. We're not going to use it. We're going to still use the block. And the block is a little bit further to the outside because we're going to use it for the outside leg. So I'm going to step the outside leg onto the block and swing the inside leg back. What I want to do in cinching up muscles that hold us in the steady place is to notice I'm not tipping the pelvis, but I'm swinging between flexing the foot, pointing the toes to take the leg back. So I'm grazing the floor with the tip of the toes. Swinging the foot forward, you might have more freedom here to lift any amount higher without tipping, and then swinging the leg back. We usually are surprised that we can't go as far as we think we can without tipping. And you might get much further than me, but I am trying to be honest about what I am discovering today. Perfect. We'll do that one more time to the front. And when you're ready for change, if you'll bend in your knee and bring the knee across, reach across and catch hold and pull any amount more, then we're asking more of the outer ankle to the inner ankle to adjust that navigation of the ground forces. Great. Send the leg well back. Lean in to help it get there. As you get well back, Then let's make it so that the foot at the block comes slightly forward, slightly back towards you, so that you bear the heel down and forward. Now, the hand at the chair has a job. Its job is to push forward. And when I do that, it talks to the back calf and ankle. If that doesn't present itself to you, then you might be able to go a little bit further in your back leg and really open up the knee. The warrior one position that we're using now, we can take the arm high. We can take the arm wide. We can take it behind us and really open up. We can give it a rest, but the hand in front keeps pushing forward. And I want us to think of one more internal action. And that is to notice where our knee is staying and to move the lower ribs back. So if I'm pushing, I get to help that along. And at the same time, I get to open up this hip. And everything supports that. The push of the hand, the heel into the block, what the back leg is getting to do. Very nice. Step forward and step down. As you step down, move the block so that it is between your feet and it is narrow. It is nice to follow asymmetrical movement with something that gives you a little bit more symmetry. It's very centering to the mind. And as you hold the block, 4 corners of the feet on the floor, lift the arches of the feet, just feel the lift in your body. You can use the chair or not. You can keep this reaching down of the shoulder blades so that the sternum, the heart lift. But when you're ready, we're going to get another taste of that leaning forward, leaning back action. So at first, we're going to use the chair purposefully. Again, we're going to push down and we're going to lift the front of the feet. So we're bringing the block with us. There's a little bit more action going on. And we're using those muscles that we are strengthening that will allow us this balance between front and back. Rest in your feet, lift the heels, bring the block with you if you can. You don't have to go terribly high. Use a focal point to help you navigate, right? Get your bearings. And then I'm going to encourage you to come almost to the floor, to really hold that position nice and low. For many reasons, how we open up the back of the knee, how the soles of the feet work a little differently. It is a different angle. Sometimes when we lose our balance, it's actually when we're closer to the floor. We need to count on this and then give it a rest. So great maintenance-oriented things. Let's do all the work on the other side. You can simply turn the block down and turn around. So the block goes for the outside leg. I want to step up, bring the knee up, and then step back. Great. As you step up, we'll bring the knee across. And as we give the opposite hand to catching and pulling that leg across, then we have this great outer hip stretch. We're asking the standing leg for its stabilizing actions. We're building it at the same time. As you exhale, lean in. As you step back, step well back. And then hook the front heel. Make sure your proximity to the chair allows you to push. And as you push, if you don't feel the back calf responding, then take your leg further back. So the more you push with your hand, it's not just that you're opening up the hip that belongs to that back leg, but that you find the calf taking up that action. So we want to stay with this and then notice how else we can add in engagement. Internal action, I can reach up with the outside hand. My chair hand pushes forward. I can take that outside arm and reach out to the side. all these ways. We use warrior one. I can take it back behind, add to the back bending action, and I can give it a rest. But regardless, we're going to keep the knee and draw the ribs back. Beautiful. Readiness. All right, when you are ready, stepping forward, 2 step down. So this time I want us to turn and face the chair while we hold on to the block. And I'll go this way, and all you have to do is turn and face the back of your chair while you hold the block. So it gives us a different leverage pattern. I'm going to hold the block. Doesn't matter if the block is narrow or medium or wide. Roll the soles of the feet to the floor, lift the arches of the feet, and just notice the reaching down of the back body, the lifting up of the front body, the place of symmetry that is very centering. Mountain pose, internal action begins with the feet. And I quite often share that when we are in other shapes and poses and preparations, if we just come back to putting this set of actions into our feet, then all the other actions come into play. All right, hold on to the back of the chair, lift up onto your toes, lift any amount. From this position, what we have as an advantage is to begin to relax our mind a little bit and find that maybe we can knead the chair less. We can let our hands just float. Yep. And then come down slowly. I'm going to encourage you to pause really close to the floor, hold some time there, and then slowly give it away. Very nice. When you're ready, as you hold on to the block, as you push now intentionally into the chair, we're going to lift the front of the feet up and feel more of the lift of the front body. There are a lot of little things that we can pay attention to that will just help us refine what we get out of this. If you look down to your feet, you might notice if you have one foot that turns or sickles, and so you can bring your feet to more of an even place of symmetry. And again, we are not perfect. And then slowly let that down. Very nice, everybody. We'll take the weights in hand. I want to swing the arms forward, and they're actually going to help me. They're going to help counterbalance that the weight is way back behind, that I can slow it down as I sit. Very good. We can leave one weight aside. We'll go back to this hip hinge with one arm across. And as the other arm gets to hang at first, we're going to draw the elbow back and then take the arm back and lower slowly in the reverse. So I'm going to hinge from the elbow, extend back behind, pull it in, and lower. We'll try that one more time. We're isolating the triceps here and still asking the upper back to hold us. As you come upright, let's use that recovery idea. I want to hold on to the chair, lean to the side, allow the weight in hand to be the tractioning device, meaning it's going to traction the shoulder, and make sure to go in both directions. I'd like to encourage that if your body really likes this, here's your opportunity to add more where it truly counts. You could put both weights in hand and just feel the difference. Oh, wow. Get to pull some tension out of the shoulder. Yes, my fingers have to work a little bit more. So use that if you wish. And then let's do that on the other side. With that in mind, as you repeat, adding weights in your own way, whether or not you do them with these yoga poses, you can always add the second light weight in your hand. But here we go. I'm hinging, resting across, the other arm is down. I'm drawing the elbow up, extending back behind, trying to keep the neck neutral as I work in the reverse. So I just want to show from this angle, I am drawing up, extending back, trying not to move from the shoulder when I go back. So I have to move from the shoulder to lift the elbow, but from here, I'm only moving from the elbow. Very good. Inhale, come upright, catch hold the chair, allow yourself that leaning place. Here comes that circling action. And then in the reverse, each shoulder is different. So we want to be smart about not being in a hurry. I can now, if you put the second weight in hand on the other side, now would be the time for it. And just to notice this wonderful release. Okay. So I want to bring our attention to yet another place of recovery. When I have my hands facing back and I pull the fingertips, I pull the fingers like I'm curling back, I get to stretch the forearm muscles. I can roll the shoulders back while I do that. I can take the arms a little further back when I do that. We do this in general to stretch those nerves in the arms without the weights, but just notice what the weights give you. So what I'm asking you to do here is to use the weight in more than one way. So I could be here, and then I want to follow it by rolling the other way. So when you're sitting and you draw back, then go the other way. And in this manner, it becomes a strengthening exercise. If we want to improve our weight bearing through our arms, put our hands down. We do that here in this class, even in the chair class, we do that in the chair. But we can do more. We can make progress safely, and we can build resilience if we strengthen these forearm muscles. It's not always about the wrist. Okay, let's put this down. So to counter some of that, if you'll sit with your feet wide and lace your fingers and turn your palms, I want you to go between cat pose to catching the knees and pulling yourself through to a little bit of cow. With this drop of serenity in your hands, as you come to your stopping place, thumbs toward your chest, this lotus mudra that allows you to really enjoy the aromatherapy and continue to strengthen the back of the wrist and the forearm muscles. Bring your mind to all the ways that yoga gives you that sense of peace. Bring your hands together to your heart. And I want to thank you for how you contribute to that collective consciousness simply by coming as you are. So thank you for being here and participating. Namaste.